Hey guys, welcome, SimUK here. This is Offroad Mania. This game is not yet released, it comes out in about 10 days. And I'm very grateful to the developer, Active Games, who have sent this over to me to have a little look, create a review, and I've got to say, I haven't played it yet, but I like what I see. I think the physics on this are going to be really interesting. It looks challenging, and I'm excited to get into it. So it says it's got full controller support, but first thing I've noticed in the last 2 minutes is that, well, let's say a little bit quirky on the menu. So you've got R1 and L1, but rather than R1 and L1 controlling zoom in and zoom out, we've got R2 and R1 controlling zoom in and zoom out, which is just, it goes against the norm. So I'm struggling a little bit with that, but yes, we have limited control in the menu, so I can't come down here and click on customize, but if I click on customize, then I can change the color of my truck. That looks pretty cool. I can change the color of the driver as well, but it looks like I need the mouse to do that. Very Stig looking chap indeed. Oh, it's his visor. It's his visor that you can change the colour of. Can you change his suit as well? Oh yeah, you can change everything, look. That's pretty smart. I like that. Let's get this guy. What's this I'm changing? Nothing. You can pick your shade of black. This must be his suit. There we go. Yeah, I'm liking that. That's pretty awesome. Alright, we're gonna go, where are we gonna go? We're gonna go, let's go blue. Let's go blue. I notice there's no dead zone. If you look over here, you can see that that's ever so slightly moving constantly. That's because my Xbox 360 controller is being used heavily, and oh, that's the scaler there. Okay, I just spotted that. Yeah, there's no dead zone, so it's constantly moving. Let's go black. I like that better. What about this then? Ah, now I get it. Let's have some yellow gloves on this guy. Okay, I'm liking it. So we got a few trucks here. Let's try and zoom out. Turn customize off. So yeah, I'm really a big fan of the low poly graphics. I've always liked them. I think, you know, a lot of simulators could take this on board and just use it, because as we've seen many times from many games, gameplay trumps graphics. Now, none of these are officially licensed, but they do look remarkably similar to some well-known brands, I'd say. Really nicely modelled. And if I can get low enough, I'm not sure I can, try and zoom in, you can see the suspension underneath. And this is the bit that's exciting me the most, is the physics and the suspension system that has been implemented in this game. Right, okay, let's take a quick look at settings and then we'll jump in. So you've got always free look, full screen, free look speed, auto camera rotate, music, sound effects. So there you go. Xbox 360 controller is working. I've already got a couple of things I think I'm gonna wish were in the game. But let's start out with this truck and just see how we go here. So Y, hide options. L to navigate, doesn't work. Let's play the game. Level 1. So there's no sort of tutorial to this. Basically, you've got accelerate is A. Now that is interesting. I thought it would be on the R1 thumbstick. I wonder if you can change that. I don't think you can change the controls. Garage. Customize. Now that's a That's a little bit disappointing. That is a little bit disappointing because... Okay, so the problem with having a button as an accelerator... Let me ditch this music because it's getting on my nerves a bit. I thought I'd like it, but actually I'm disliking it. Okay, right, so right from the start, before I even started playing the game, these are the issues I can see. Well, for a start... There we go. So the problem with not having a dead zone on your right thumbstick is that the camera, unless you've got a brand new controller, which hardly anybody does, it's going to be constantly moving. Now I've got to say the movement of the camera is very smooth, it's very nice, and also we have the option to there we go first person, but again we've got that problem of the right thumbstick constant. That's not me moving it, that's me trying to centralize my thumbstick. It's either going too far one way or too far the other way, and there's no dead zone option. So okay, that's going to be a bit annoying if you're using a controller. How do I swap out? Okay, now the other annoyance is because the accelerator is on A, it means we can't hold a level of acceleration. So when you're going up a hill like this, if you had the, what at the moment R1 is zoom out, but if you had the ability to apply small amounts of acceleration and hold that acceleration, you'd have more control over the car. But because A is a digital input, it's either on or it's off. So I would like to see... Oh my god, there's another problem. Instinctively I am grabbing L1 to brake and it's X to brake. I've got to say I'm a little disappointed with that. Now I think I know why the developer's done it this way, and it's because yeah, I'm gonna struggle with these controls. It's because they've actually got an HTML5 demo on their website, which is cool. But of course the issue with that is that we can never ever have a wheel on this, which is a shame because we've got first person view. But okay, that's level 1 completed. So I've got all the bitchy moaniness stuff out. The constant rotation of the camera is going to be a problem, no matter what I do. But I love how it's got first person view. Do you see how I can't hold the hill? I can either go up the hill or down the hill. I cannot hold the hill. How the heck am I meant to get to that? Bearing in mind there's an infinite drop the other side. I guess I just... Oh, have I got to jump? No way. Have I got to jump this? Ah! Nearly. So I guess the good thing is, see, look, okay, if I use the D-pad I can navigate the menu. Alright, fine. Yeah, okay, so the good thing is that once you've got one of these things, one of these secret things, you've got it for good. So even though I killed myself, you don't have to get all 3 in one life, is what I'm saying. Again, pressing L1 to brake. Okay, So I've got my bitchy moaniness out the way. I think I've covered all the things that I dislike about the game. Let's have a let's try and focus on enjoying it, which is going to be tricky because of this camera problem. Now the physics on this, I've already seen the physics on this game from videos that the developer has uploaded. Interestingly, he has... I'd like to reverse the camera. Can I reverse the camera? I can't reverse the camera. Auto camera rotate. Nope. Can I turn that down? Maybe that'll fix it. No, still doing it. I think auto camera rotate is when you get to something. See, right. For me, the camera controls are the opposite of what I naturally want to use, and you can't change it. So that's annoying. But the game itself, the physics are fantastic. I think this is wonderful. I really do. It's got some issues. It doesn't have issues. It's got limitations. It's got limitations. It needs to have dead zone to stop my camera from moving around when I don't want it to. That has to happen. You have to be able to reverse the camera so that I want up to be down and down to be up. It just feels more natural to me that way. I need to be able to put accelerator on R1 and brake on L1. And I'm just not going to enjoy it as much without the ability to apply a small amount of power as and when I see fit. It's not going to tick the boxes for me properly. I mean, look at the physics on this. Let me try and get round here. Look at the stunning... This is what impresses me the most. This is just phenomenal. They've got the weight right, they've got the balance right, they've got the retention of the springs right, the speed is right. There's even like a bit of audio difference when the car is working hard, which is nice. I would love to see, now this game has got 150 levels, and 150 levels of this is brilliant, but I would love to see, and I know what I'm asking is a fundamental change to the game, but the physics are so good and it's done so well. I would love to see a mountain climb. It could still have some extreme drop-offs like this, but like a real map, like a real life poly created map. Sort of like spin tyres, if you will, because I think this has got all of the wonderful features, all the best bits of the physics for spin tyres. I feel like they're here. They're in this game, and even though oh god, see, pressing L1 for brake again. Even though this camera's doing my head in. It's also ruining my trail of thought. Yeah, I don't know, I've lost that thought, sorry. The camera issues are starting to really start to piss me off. Are really annoying me. I might be able to go into my control settings and implement a dead zone on this controller. In fact, I'm gonna see if I can do that, because this is really annoying me. Right, okay, so let's see what we can do here. Xbox 360 controller. Calibrate. Press all of the D-pad's corners and then press a button on the controller. So I cannot get my controller to centralize. It's just not going to happen. Let's see what we can do here. Again, pressing R1 to accelerate. I mean, this is phenomenal. How great would it be if there was like a massive mountain that you had to get up? I mean, there's 150 levels here. And I'm sure they get progressively more complicated, etc. And that's cool. And I like it. But these issues are causing the game some problems. Or the enjoyment of the game. Gotcha. Now I actually physically cannot see where the map goes. Okay, that way. Oh, whoa, whoa! Crap. Okay, that's my first actual mistake there. Okay, so I've got one. I've no idea where the second one is. And you can get some proper speed up with this truck as well. And this is only truck one, of course. I think there's 5 or 6 at least to enjoy. Let's have a look, see here. Yeah, 5 amazing 4x4 off-road cars, each with their own suspension and engine. But this is just fantastic. The physics, the game itself. Don't do it again, don't do it again, don't do it again, you pillock. The game itself is fantastic. The handling of the vehicle I love. I think the tyre, the air in the tyres feels realistic. The weight of the vehicle feels realistic. The pull, the physics, the suspension, it's all amazing. All this game is lacking. All this game is lacking is the ability to customize your controls and set dead zones. That's all this game needs. And he's got 10 days before release, so it's very possible he could implement that if he so chooses, if he listens to my feedback. Oh, there's me again pressing L1 to brake. Oh, that's annoying. I was kind of hoping we'd have got that on the way through. It's going to be a problem. We're going to have to go over and come back for it. Which is not easy with this flipping camera situation. Now, interestingly, the developer has actually released videos on how to complete absolutely every single one of the missions in this game. You can actually zoom out quite far, can't you? That might help me a bit. Oh, that's perilous, isn't it? Now why is there a finish line there, but it looks like there's loads more up there? Oh, there were 2 routes in. I didn't realise that. Okay. That's fantastic, isn't it? Oh, so good. So good. I'll tell you what else would be nice, and this is not something I expect could be implemented in the next 10 days, is a replay camera. When you complete a difficult mission, I think it would be wonderful to be able to just watch it back, save it for prosperity from, you know, any angle, a couple of external angles perhaps. That's torn it. Way steady on. I would love to be able to hook my G29 up to this and my pedals and stuff. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but the physics in this game are good enough to be taken and put into something bigger. So if the developer sells well in this regard, then there's every chance that there could be an off-road. Speaking of off-road, where's the next bloody... Oh, typical. Look at that, it's all the way over there. There's every chance there could be... Oh, how did I fall off there? How did I fall off there? Bugger. There's every chance there could be a Offroad Mania 2, I guess. Oh, still pressing L1 to brake. I don't like the default controls. It's fair to say. They're not bad. They're not what I want to use. And the constant rotation of the camera is is probably the biggest problem. If I could just stay centralized and move my head as and when I felt like it, I think we'd be golden. I'd also question whether or not the wheel turns enough. I feel like maybe the car should have more a better turn circle. The camera moving about is doing my Swede. It's making it impossible to judge where you are in the map. Alright, let's go get this last one. And I think level 7, that should have unlocked at least one car. So we can try one more. See, having to fight against this camera constantly is a problem. Now, if you've got a controller that has a perfect dead zone, that's not going to bother you. But you can see how I'm constantly losing line of sight. Okay, where is the end of this level? Where does it live? Oh, it's all the way over there. Of course it is. Yeah, I don't like the camera. I don't like the way the camera moves like that. The camera's, I guess, staying behind my truck. I think it's like in a fixed position behind my truck. I think it needs to not be there. I wonder if that's got anything to do with this. Let's just try this. Let's bring the free look speed right down. Okay, well that helps because now the camera is not moving. So, okay, the slight problem with that is I'm not in the right position. Okay, so I want to be kind of like that. So if I now turn that off, I mean it's still moving because that's what the game does. And I'm not a fan of it, I'm really not. But it's at least it's not spinning around constantly. And every time you start a new level it resets the camera, which is another pain in the ass. Because if you've just spent 20 minutes like I have trying to get the camera where you want it, you don't want to have to do that with 150 levels. Fantastic, look at that. The physics are brilliant. Really, the game is phenomenal. The only issue I have is with the UI. We are one wheel down here. 2 wheels down. I'm struggling to recover that, but you can recover that. And now I'm stuck. Yeah, I don't like how the camera moves when I turn the wheel. I would like to be able to turn that off. Let's just auto camera rotate. Let's turn that off as well. Maybe that's going to be better. Now, I think it is better. Still, it's not quite where I want it. I'm not on it. I'm not on it. And one of the other things I really like about this is it's actually really challenging. Really challenging, and that's awesome. Again, pressing L1 to brake. Bugger. And although it looks like there is one logical way through, like a very linear level, it actually isn't. I mean, I could approach this in any number of ways. I don't have to go over this middle section again if I don't want to, which I probably should have chosen the option not to. Ah, damn it, blast it. Right, come on. Let's go get to level 10. Come on, it's supposed to be a four-wheel drive car. I've got three wheels on the road. I really feel like we should have been able to get out of that. Is it really four-wheel drive? Or maybe this one isn't, I don't know. Don't do it again! See, look. There's only... okay, maybe two wheels. But I should be able to get out of that, because I'm going to be getting traction from the front wheel that's touching the edge there. There we go. There we go. We could do it. Alright. Just wait ages for my camera to move around. Stop moving. Whew, that was tricky. That was the first really tricky one. Okay, so I've got to say, I don't know what price this game is going to release at. But it's really, really good. I had to guess. I had to guess where that was because I couldn't see it. It's a bit of a shame, isn't it? It's actually got some torque on it as well. When you accelerate hard, it seems like so it's not driving straight anymore. And that's a problem. Yeah. Okay. So there are some issues. There are some issues around the controls of this game. There's no denying that. The UI and the configuration needs tweaking, in my humble opinion. That's not going to be the same for everybody. I mean, it's a quality game. If you're using a keyboard and mouse, which some people will be doing, nuggets, then this will probably be fine for you because you won't have the camera rotation issues, you won't have the lack of button configuration issues. You know, if accelerate and brake were R1 and L1, I'd be laughing right now. I don't know what's going on here because the controls have been fine the whole way through, but now they're really twitchy, and I kind of feel like it's got something to do with the fact that I've turned the camera off. We've changed the camera settings. But it's a quality game. The physics, I think, are wonderful. It's just the camera is an issue. The camera really is a problem. I wonder if that's because I've just changed my calibration. It might be. There's a very good chance that that's not helped things. By trying to add a dead zone, I think I've actually made it so sensitive. It's now behaving really badly. Let's get on to the next level. We'll try the next car. And then we can sort of say for sure, I guess. Okay, so let's go. How do we go? How do we go back? Let's pause. So if I press escape, go to garage, then we should have a new vehicle. Excellent. Let's customize the car. What can we do here? Let's go. Oh, I'm liking that. We'll stick a bit of this on. That's the underside. I'm liking that. Something here. The roll bar underneath. Let's give that a nice green colour. This bit here, I don't know what that's referring to. I can't see it, whatever it is. And I can't move the camera. So we'll make that white, whatever the hell that is. Oh, and what's this? The wheel color? Yeah, let's go for green on that as well. Okay, good. So that's a cool looking truck. We've got that one, and I don't think we've unlocked that one. We need to get to level 10. So let's go get to level 10 so that we can at least... what? 1 to 10 levels? Oh, it's still locked. Oh, bugger. Okay, alright, let's go to... level 10. Okay, so this is the last one we need to do. Right, okay, so when you turn the rotation of the camera down to 0, that helps with the dead zone issue, but you can't then adjust the camera at all. So now I can't zoom out, I can't turn the camera. So I mean, that is the game's biggest issue right now, is that camera problem, or the lack of dead zone problem. That's not looking good, is it? If I can get on that lock, I might be able to right myself, possibly. That was close, wasn't it? I just want to stick with this and see if you can do it, if you can do it. I was hoping I might be able to edge along this log a bit and get to the next one. So if I can do that, I might have enough traction to right the car up. So now I would think with the amount of torque that this car is currently kicking out, that would be an option, but I don't know, I'm sensing that the centre of gravity is not going to in any way allow this to happen. So if you do end up on your side, there doesn't seem to be any way of righting yourself. part of me that feels if you just get traction on the right bit, maybe. Come on, get up there. See there, and you get the compression on the suspension. I kind of feel like maybe that, I think that would right itself in the real world. I think the physics are very good, but I think maybe you would be able to right a truck by doing something like this. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I think it probably should be able to right itself. I've given that enough time. Let's restart. So, I mean, without knowing the price of the game, it's difficult. It's always difficult in this situation to say whether it's good value for money. I think the gameplay experience is sublime. It feels a little bit like an HTML5 game. It does, and it is an HTML5 game, so I mean, take that into consideration. And I guess if I have to review it based on that, then I say yes. I think, you know, if it's £5 or less, then this is probably worth. It's good enough to have in your arsenal, definitely. I mean, look how brilliant that is. Isn't that incredible? Level 10 completed. Okay, let's go back to the garage. And I guess, how do we swap vehicles? Okay, so we got vehicle number 2 now. But the thing for me with this game is that it's way better. It's way better than it seems to think it is. Does that make sense? The basis of the game that's here could, I think, develop into something far more involved, far more realistic. I mean, like I say, I would love to see a full-sized realistic map created, the mountain climb in this game with checkpoints along the way. You know, and similar to games like Spin Tires. You know, if you had something that you needed to deliver perhaps, and you had to keep it safe, you know, you have to keep the speeds under control so that you don't lose it. I've just seen the other thing. I don't know how I'm going to get that. So as it is right now, as I'm testing it in this moment, without the ability to change button configuration or add a dead zone for my controller, I would still say this is a great game and worth a play. I can't say whether it's worth a buy technically because I don't know what the price is, but if it's like £5, then jump on it, because this is such a quality little title. And I would hope that the developer takes heed from the criticisms that I've applied, the constructive criticisms that I've implied in this video. And I think the future for this game is incredible. I would love to see this game expand and develop and become more. I'd like to see wheel support, I'd like to see replay. Button configuration is an absolute must. Because as it is at the moment, it's a problem. It is detracting from what is otherwise an absolutely sensationally good little game. It's just really fun. And I think the level design, actually, I've not really discussed that, but the level design's very good. One thing I've noticed is there's no timer. That could be a nice little feature that's added, you know. Like I say, if you had a load in the back of your truck that you had to keep safe, that would add to the game experience. And I think adding a timer perhaps would also add to the experience. I wish I could move my camera right now. Okay, we got it. So 150 levels. And I'm assuming they get more and more complex as time goes on. So I'm going to say you've probably got a good couple of hours worth. Maybe, let's say 8 to 10 hours worth of gameplay here. Just in the default game. And a lot of replayability. I think if you had a timer, in the game, that would add to the replayability of it, because you'd always want to try and beat your fastest time, as it were. It's great. A really great game. A really great game with some issues in controller support and UI configuration. Not problems, limitations, stuff that could be added in. And like I say, this game's going to release in 10 days. I would like to see it there. I would like to see a dead zone added. That would be a massive improvement for me. And equally, if I could put R1 and L1 as my accelerator and brake, that would again enhance the game tenfold. So at the moment I give the game, like, I don't know, and I'm just completely pulling this out of the top of my head or out of my arse or wherever you would like to imagine it comes from. Let's say I give this game 60 out of 100 right now, like in its current state. You son of a gun. In its current state, 60, 65 out of 100. If those things were added, it would definitely be up in the 80s. And if we could have a replay camera, that would also be very nice. But don't get me wrong, I really like this game. I think it's incredible. I think they've done a great job. I think they should be very proud of what they've built. I think it's incredibly impressive. I like the trucks, the modelling on them. The physics are sublime. I made the same mistake here, haven't I? Got away with it that time. Oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Arrgh! Camera. Yeah, I'd like to see a full-scale map come in. A realistic hill climb map. That would be fantastic. Especially if they could like introduce things like mud and water. Now, I know mud physics is a big ask, but I think this game is good enough that it's going to make the developers some money. As long as they price it fairly, and I have no idea what the price is going to be, but as long as they price it, if they price it in a way that gets people's attention, like I say, round about the £5 mark, L1 is not the break. Somewhere around about the £5 mark, I think this game is going to sell like hotcakes, and hopefully that will give the developer enough money to devote some time to expanding on this. Get a DLC out, wheel support, that would be wonderful. Head tracking would be phenomenal. Maybe add a timer element to the game. As if you went to an investor and said, I'd like to sell this game, this is my prototype, this is my base, this is where I'm starting from, and I'd like to expand upon it and develop more stuff and add more features and elements to it, would you like to invest? Then I, as an investor, if I had the cash, would be like 100% interested, because the good bits of this game are really incredible. I love the physics, the complexity of it, I love the art design, I love the modelling. 90% of this game I like, and only those issues that I've mentioned in any way detract from this really awesome title. And if the price is right, come on down. Right, let's see if we can get to level 20 and unlock the next car, and then I'll probably wrap this review up. For no other reason than, you know, I can't really think of anything else that needs to be said. I'd be interested, guys, if you're watching this and you've got any ideas yourself. Suggestions for the developer. I'm almost certain they're going to be reading comments that you leave, so please do leave comments. I think this is hot property right now. A lot of people are going to play this. I can see some big YouTubers picking up on this video and going and picking up this game, because it's a lot of fun. And if some of those recommendations are implemented in the next 10 days, it's going to be even better than it is right now. And if they're not, then some people are going to get really frustrated. Gotcha. Wow, nailed that one. Right, here we go, level 20. Actually, I just thought of something else that's really interesting for this game. As difficult as this game is, and it really is tricky at stages, this is a game that anyone can pick up, like any age. Oh, I like the way it goes back to the garage when you unlock a new car. That's cool. All right, let's customise this bad boy then. Let's say... what colour can we go here? Oh, we're changing the whole car colour by doing that. Right, I think we want to go red. Oh, that's the roll bar stuff. I can go yellow. There's a bit of an issue. There's a bit of an issue when I'm changing the colour of stuff. And I don't really know what's causing it. See, now that I'm changing the colour of this, I don't know how to get out of changing the colour of that. I seem to be stuck in it. R to change colour. So R to change colour, L to navigate. I don't know, it's clunky. It's a little bit clunky. Right, this is the suspension. Let's go sort of a pinky colour on suspension. See, now I'm stuck. So what button allows me to move? It's not that one. Right, so I'm changing the colour. If I press R1 and L1, I can't... That's changing the colour intensity. So B is back. L to navigate. A select. See, I did manage to... Oh, it's the D-pad, isn't it? Oh! Been an absolute prune on that one. I do apologise. It's the D-pad. I don't know why. I'm just so not used to using the D-pad. All right. I think we've got a car that we can use. Let's go have a crack at a couple more. Oh. That's a nice one. And incidentally, obviously the driver looks an awful lot like Stig. So obviously the developer has a bit of an affinity with Top Gear, I'm guessing. And wouldn't this be fantastic on Top Gear if they had some sort of assault course like this that they had to navigate? Wouldn't that be brilliant if they had to actually go out on stilts and... See, now those stilts, I think, are leaning backwards. But if they were leaning forwards, I'd have to use my brakes. This is really good. It just gets more technical with every drive. With every level. And that's how it should be. It's magnificent, really. Here we go. This one's tilting forwards, right? Or is it right on the edge? I wonder... Oh yeah, there you go. It is tilting down. Wow, that's going to be tricky. Especially as soon as I can't move my camera and I can't see where it is. I can't see it there either. For this, we're going to need the camera. I think I missed it. Oh, wow, this is brilliant. No, I didn't hit the brakes quick enough. Ah, so close. So close to getting that right. So now I've just got to drive to the top. Okay. Well, I think this level, more than any other, really sort of embodies, whoops, how awesome this game is. I think it shows off the physics, the weight, the brilliant design of the levels, the wonderful modelling, especially the physics and the suspension of the vehicles themselves. I just think it's sensational. I think it's a really good game. And I'm hoping the developer doesn't try and put the price too high and sort of alienate people. Maybe £5 is too low. Maybe it is worth a bit more than £5. See, what you're watching here, by the way, is me playing it for the first time. So my thoughts are evolving as I'm playing it. £5 maybe is a bit too low. £5 would be a steal. £10 with all the with all the levels and all the vehicles and the brilliant physics, etc. Is that a good price? Is that a good price? Do you know what? I think if the things I mentioned were fixed, then maybe so. If you had button configuration options and a dead zone for the camera, maybe even a few different camera angles, so maybe you could look from the front wheel, look from above, like default cameras that you could cycle through, that kind of thing, to help you navigate these very difficult maps. Maybe a map creator, that would be nice. If there was like a workshop area where you could build your own maps, that would be an incredible feature. That would definitely make it worth £10. How it is today, right now, I think £10 would be asking a bit much. As it is today, right now, with the issues that I've highlighted already. That's tricky, that little bit there. That is tough. Bugger! I'm going to take the chicken route, I'm afraid. Yes, I think a few more camera angles would be most useful. When you slam it in reverse, being able to look backwards would be handy. I know you could probably do that with the camera system as it is, but because of my dead zone issue, that's actually going to add more problems than it's going to help. What a brilliant game. What do you think? Let me know in the comments what you think about this game. I think it's fantastic. I'm really impressed with it. And the whole point of reviewing a game is not to go, oh, look at all the nice bits. It's to take everything into consideration and say, well, these are the bits I like and these are the bits where I think it needs a bit of work. I think we're stuck. And we're not stuck in the sense that we can't get out of where we are. I think we're stuck in the model. That's the first time that's happened. Okay, there's one there. You can see I'm getting more confident with the game now. I'm starting to understand the angles, the reaction and the physics. Plus, I think I really like this vehicle. Does it handle differently than the other one? I'm not sure. Maybe. Oh wow, look at this one. More balancing. Accuracy and balancing. Camera issues. Are you serious? I didn't get it. Come on, camera. Here we go again. Yes, we got it that time. Fabulous! I enjoyed that. That was good. This game is awesome. I wish I could utilise first person view a bit more. Head tracking would be nice. Not going to happen before release day. But just being able to cycle through cameras. I mean, how good is that, right? Cannot see what's over this hill. It's scary as hell. How awesome is that? I can't see a thing. Too scared. I can't see. That's the problem. Woo! Oh, I missed one. I missed one. But I did it all in first person, so I'm quite happy with that. So obviously In the future, what else would I like to see? Multiplayer. Like, if you could have two people racing the same track next to each other, perhaps. That would be fantastic. There's no multiplayer at the moment, it's single player. But in the future, that would be phenomenal. I don't even know why I'm going over those. It's making my life more difficult. Crikey. Where am I now? I take it I'm stuck there, am I? I think I'm stuck there. Right, where's the last one then? Oh, I've got 3 of 3. Okay, where's the exit then? Where's the finish line? Oh, I see it. Really good game. Really quality title. So impressed with it, I really am. I think I'd be more impressed if I could have more camera views, fixed camera views, and accelerator on the R1 stick. I'd love to be able to play this on a wheel. I think that would be really good fun. To be fair, I haven't tried my wheel. I should try my wheel. I can't get to my wheel. That's a problem. I'm going to have to try and get to my wheel and test this. No, you absolute buffoon head. We were nailing that then. Wow, I am so getting into this game. It's such a quality game. If I complete level 30, I'll get another car, and that's nice. There's only 5 cars, which is interesting, or is it level 30? It might be high now. I knew there'd be one in the middle there. There we go, new vehicle. I'm not going to bother doing anything with this one. I just want to give it a couple of quick goes. Oh, this is a very different beast. This is a very different beast. This is suspension central, this one. Wow. It's like a tarantula. Okay, so this one feels substantially different to the last one. How am I going to get down there? Oh, I missed it. I couldn't see. Yeah, I think that's enough there. This is a very, very different car. So this one does feel completely different, and you know, the design, the engine is different. Everything about it is very substantially different to the other two. And I think this one I think is considerably more resilient. I think you'll probably be able to take on much harder levels with this one, which is obviously what it's designed for. Oh, please get up there, please get up there. Well done. Well, I got it. Okay, so this is a cracking title. I think you can see that. You know, this, you don't even need, I could have just played it and not spoken. You could have seen how good it is. But 120 levels, comprising of rocks, trees, bridges, ramps, and so on. 5 amazing 4x4 off-road cars, all different suspensions and engines for fun driving. This game is going to be super hot, honestly. Incredible game, really massively good game. I highly recommend it. A few changes and issues that I've highlighted, and I think I've been fair in those identifications. They are going to bother a lot of people. They certainly bothered me, and on the most part, I think it's an absolute winner. An absolute winner. Bravo to Active Games. Watch out for these developers. These guys are going to do something incredible in the future. I can really feel it in my bones. Thank you for watching, guys. Remember, hit that like button down there. Go and put this on your wish list. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. If you've got a couple of quid spare, and we're talking like £2, a cup of coffee, chuck it our way so that we can keep making videos like this and promoting wonderful developers like Active Games, who I think deserve a little bit of an applause for what they've developed here. I think it's really good. I really like it. I hope they listen to my constructive criticism. I hope they implement some of the things that I've spoken about, and I hope they do really well. I hope they sell lots and lots of copies, and we see more from them in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Until next time, goodbye.